How are you doing?
Hi, Preeti. I'm doing very well. How about you?
Doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. So it's been a couple of years since we've had you in the program, and since then you've done, a phenomenal journey into the health and wellness space. So tell the audience a little bit more about your journey, and tell them a little bit more about your background and why health and wellness is so important for you.
Sure, Preeti. Before that, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me here for sharing my journey. So guys, my name is Naveen Sharma and I'm an internationally certified yoga teacher and a health and wellness coach. I've done my health and wellness coach certification with Weljii. And I'm co-founder of Ashmayu Yoga, which is one of the top-rated yoga studios in Bangalore. And I started this with my wife, who is also a yoga teacher and a racer. Recently, 2 years back, I joined Weljii for my health and wellness certification. And I did the course. And right after that, I actually started another company called Global Wellness Circle, which was purely about helping people improve their behaviors to achieve better health. And all the thanks goes to Weljii and Preeti, because the course was designed in such a way that I could actually right away after the course, go ahead and do everything possible to get started with that. And it's been almost 2 years now that I'm following that process. And I'm really happy because I've been able to generate great amount of results for a lot of my students. Now, this is about what I'm doing right now. But as Preeti asked me, how did I get into this entire thing? So I was not always into health and wellness. I was actually in a corporate job, which most of us are who are in the health and wellness space. Most of the people have come from the corporate jobs. Even I was one of them. I had an awesome job. I always loved my job. But just after 1.5 years of my job, I started to see many changes in my health. And these changes were initially not very profound for me to see in my life. But as soon as it became like a year or 1.5 years, I was seeing a lot of changes in my sleep patterns, energy levels. I was gaining weight, and which kind of really brought me into a situation where I started to think, what am I doing with my life? And that was the time I started to rethink, do I really want to continue this journey? Because for me, my health is very important. I have been a health freak from my college time. And the moment I got into corporate, suddenly everything lost. I mean, even I was a health freak person, the kind of work profile I was into, the kind of life I was living, everything became suddenly something different. And I was not able to live up to that, whatever I was doing earlier. And after 1.5 years, when I saw myself, I couldn't see myself in the mirror. And I was just like, what should I do now? If I continue the same journey for the next 20 to 30 years, like everybody else, I would end up becoming a person who I don't like. So I made a bold decision at that point in time that I will leave my corporate job and I will get into something which helps me keep taking care of my health and also livelihood. And the first thing that came in my life was yoga. I have a background of yoga. My father also teaches
And
yoga.
how old were you when you decided to take this bold step? Because you still look like a college graduate to me. So
That's
tell
also a
me, how
story.
old were
I'll
you?
tell you. I was around 22 at that time.
Okay.
22 to 23, I was at that time when I made this decision. And it was a very bold decision at that point in time. And today I can see that, I can feel that, because I had a lot of pressure from my family as well, because I actually came to Bangalore to do MBA. And I fought for MBA, wanted to get into the corporate, wanted to climb the ladder of corporate, wanted to become a CEO of a company, and all those things were there. And just 1.5 years after that, I was telling my parents that I want to leave this job. And they were like, no, this is the part and parcel of your life. Everybody goes through this. You need to just manage your life in a way that you are able to take care of. But it was not happening. It was just not happening. So I made a decision. I quit my corporate job. I got into yoga because that was the closest thing for me. I have always been practicing yoga. My father also teaches yoga by passion. And that was the first thing. I got into yoga certification courses. I started teaching. And 2015, I started a yoga studio with my wife. So that was my another career starting.
And how many years since your, from the time you quit to your starting your yoga studio, how long did it take you to put that into fruition?
Sure. So I quit my corporate job around 2014, actually 2013 December, or maybe 2014 January. That was the time I left my career of corporate, and I started to learn yoga. I spent almost a year before I actually got into Ashmayu Yoga, which is the institute which we are running right now in Bangalore. And it took 1 year for me to really learn a lot of those things. But before that, what I really did was I actually transformed myself. So as you were actually telling Preeti that I look like a college boy right now, you won't believe if you would have seen me when I was in corporate job. You would have told me at that point in time when I was 23 almost, you would have told me, oh, you look like a guy who is 35. And I'm not kidding here. I'm being very, very honest. All the people who have worked with me, they really know this. So it really feels great today. And because whatever I have been following in terms of health and wellness, in terms of teaching yoga, helping people with health and wellness coaching, which I've learned from you. So that has kind of given me also a path to follow on a day-to-day basis, which has transformed my own lifestyle. And I can see that change. And I'm very happy that I've been able to help a lot of people. In fact, my mission is to actually help 1 million people live a healthy lifestyle. And
oh, wow.
That's what
That's
I'm doing
amazing.
right now.
Isn't that amazing that when you embark on the journey to help yourself, you'll end up helping others. And as you're helping others, your health and well-being becomes a priority. And that is the beauty. And time and again, and you see the class cohort that you were there with. Each one of them went through their own personal stories. So each one of them went through their own personal transformation. You went through your personal transformation. Even though you were already practicing yoga, you went through a paradigm shift within the program, and everybody does that. So tell us a little bit more about your experience of being in the program, those 9 weeks of immersion into health and well-being. How was that experience for you? What did you learn from that?
In one word, I can say that the entire journey that was transformational. But just to add a little bit more on it, how exactly was it transformational? So I clearly remember I was in Singapore at that time, when the course was about to start. And I would like to really again thank you, because I was not able to join for the first session, and then still you helped me into a lot of other things with the session itself by sharing the recording. And the moment I started to go through different sessions, one of the best things which I loved about all of those sessions was that it was not a lecture-based class, wherein, somebody is teaching you and you're receiving the information. That also works in a lot of sense and a lot of different criteria as it works. But getting into a health and wellness coaching space, when I saw you guys have created a structure wherein I was a lot involved in terms of my own journey. Like every time there would be a call, there would be a class wherein I would also be speaking a lot. I might be coaching other people who are there in the class, my fellow mates, and the real-time feedback that was given, that was really transformative in terms of my understanding of how exactly it works. Every call, I could really see that there was a great amount of improvement in terms of what I was doing in that course. Whatever was the learning, the first part was learning and the second part was the practical. The practical really, really helped me to improvise on how exactly this coaching works. And even better was, like the icing on the cake was, I was getting coached by other people. Like my fellow mates were coaching me, and I also got a chance sometimes wherein I was getting the coaching from the people who are in the team of Weljii, which was again another better thing because they are professional into that. And that really shifted me a lot, because a lot of us, who are in the health field do not realize many a times that we also need our coaches for ourselves. We are teaching people, we are coaching people, but we also need to continue to improvise ourselves. And that also happens by having own teachers, by having the teachers for ourselves and coaches. And that for the first time I saw, because before that, I have my own gurus. I have my gurus basically who help me in terms of understanding of yoga and other things, which I teach people. But I never had anybody in my life who was coaching me in terms of the habits that I have throughout the day, why certain behaviors are there and why it continues to grow over a period of time. All of this was very, very like mind-blowing stuff for me when I saw the changes of the patterns of changes, the behavior change theory. And the coaching really helped me to grow myself, overcome a lot of habits that I had, made some new habits, learn a lot of stuff which I could use for a lot of my own students, and I could see changes in them as well. So the entire course, the best part is, it's a right mix of the theoretical knowledge, which we need to understand what exactly the concepts are, and how do you really put them into practical. because that really helped me. I mean, I've actually, not gone through a lot of things back and read anything, but still all of those things are in my head from that time.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
mean, I would say, that is one of the best courses I've ever done, which can help you retain the knowledge for a long period of time. And that's what
Yeah.
I've experienced. So
Yeah, the program is very, very, as you said, it's very, very high on experiential learning, on your own journey. You're witnessing other people's journey, and these kind of experiences stay embedded in your life forever. And that is why you probably never needed to go back and reach out to your reading material, even though you have that. You have all those resources, but you really did not need that because of the high interactive level of the course. So tell us, you've had this mission to transform 1 million lives, right? And this kind of mission got fueled when you did this program. Am I correct? So how are you using what you learned in this program to impact 1 million people, to make them healthier?
sure. Thank you so much for bringing this question, Preeti, because I really wanted to bring this point. See, before joining the course on wellness coaching with you, I have been seeing one thing which I did not know answer for. And the thing was that I've been teaching a lot of people yoga from a very long time, and a lot of other health related aspects as well. But what I see as a behavior, that a lot of people start with a lot of enthusiasm on things,
Yeah.
but that enthusiasm fizzles out over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how many times you say this is good stuff for you, this is something which can help you, this is something which can transform your life. And I understand that people are also understanding, and people also understand that they're understanding that this is what is right for me. But it's so hard to change. It is so hard to bring that behavior within you. And when I learned this in the Weljii wellness coaching course, that was something which gave me that one piece which I was missing in my practices. So as soon as I actually completed my course, I started to work again. I started to apply all of these techniques with my own students. I started to get some new students as well to use these techniques on them, for them to achieve their health goals. And then I realized, if I really want to impact larger number of lives, which has always been my goal, but I always felt, how will I do it? I am a single person. How can I impact larger audience or larger amount of people if I'm not able to leave them with them so that they can take care of themselves? I cannot be there for people all the time. What I've understood was this: people need to take their own responsibility over a period of time for their transformation. And that's what is going to be transforming a huge number of people. And that answer I got after the course I did, because I understood about psychology. How do you really bring in the change, the subtle changes, which helps you make those small changes and that bring the new habits, which make you the master of your life. And you really don't have to depend on somebody who will tell you, okay, this is what is right for you. You will start to make choices in your life which are right for you, and you will own that life. Basically, you'll not feel powerless to make those decisions. And that's where I started to think bigger. I wrote down my mission that, okay, now it's not about hundreds of people or thousands of people. Now I have the techniques which can help people transform themselves. I also know how can I help people improvise their behavior and take their ownership for themselves. So that's how my mission became bigger, and it became 1 million people that I want to transform in my life using the power of coaching and whatever health techniques I follow.
That is so incredible. And I'm so incredibly proud of you and for your journey that you're going to go. You are on, and I have no doubt whatsoever that you will achieve that mission, and you might even surprise yourself that you will surpass that vision, because you have that in you. You're genuinely a great guy. It was a pleasure having you in the program. And in the heart of heart, what I've always seen, people come into the space of nurturing is because they care. Okay,
that's true.
A lot of the health and wellness coaches, truly somewhere, they have the soul of a giver. They have the soul of a nurturer. They value, providing care for other people, and it means a lot to them in their lives. And I can see that, and I think that is a fuel, for great coaches. And what you've done is, not only do you have that beautiful soul, but you have gone ahead and acquired all the skills that was needed for you to actually go out there and work as a professional health and wellness coach. And you are definitely going to achieve that goal, my dear friend.
Thank you so much, Preeti.
So proud of you. You're still young. You have a long way ahead of you. You have an amazing story, and I'm still here. I'll be an 80-year-old woman still witnessing your journey. So I want to ask you, if you wanted to give a message to the future health and wellness coaches that are coming in, what would be your personal message for them? How would you inspire them?
So my personal message is my learning that I've had, in all those years. The lesson is this: don't let anything stop you.
Yep.
Because a lot of times this overwhelming situation in our head stops us to take the first step or the second step and the third step. And if somebody has said this, I don't know who has said this, but the only way to achieve something or getting success in this is to get started. Just get started with your journey, whatever it takes. If you have the idea that you want to help people in the health and wellness space, just get started. Coaching is one of the best things. No matter in what field you are in right now, any field of health and wellness, what I've understood in my journey, any field of health and wellness techniques, there are tons of techniques, which we can use to help people achieve their health goals. Coaching is one thing which can stick to everything in such a way that you can really enlarge your own impact of your techniques. So go ahead with that, continue to learn, continue to impact people with the coaching so that they can take their own ownership, and at the same time, have your own coaches and transform yourself, because you are the centerpiece. If you are transformed, you will be able to transform 10,000 or even millions of people. But if you are not working on yourself, just because you don't have time, because you're working with a lot of people, a lot of things will start to fall apart just in a couple of days or weeks or even months. So the centerpiece is you work on yourself, learn as much as possible, continue to coach people, and then transform people.
Yeah, that is so amazing you said that. You're so wise beyond your years. And it's beautiful you said that, because truly health and wellness coaching for anybody who's interested in health, wellness, fitness becomes the foundation for anything they want to do in the future. It's just like when you're building a house, you need to set the bricks right. So it is really that foundation. On top of that, you can add any speciality, any area that you want to work. You want to work with children, you want to work with elderly couple, you want to work with specific lifestyle diseases, you want to work with weight loss, you want to work with mental health, whatever it is, it helps you to layer that over your, the skill set that you have. So that is an amazing takeaway. And what you just also said was resilience, right? Because sometimes people were going to, I'm going to tell you this, when I started, everybody told me, I was foolish to do what I was doing. And like you, both of us, we had to have resilience to stick to the path that we believed in. And that is the power. Sometimes when you believe in something, you stick with it and you go on. So it was such a pleasure, such a delight speaking to you, Naveen. Thank you so much for taking time, and many blessings to you. And I know you're going to do great work going forward, and you will achieve that mission. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Thank you so much once again. Thank you so much for creating such a course. And thank you so much for inviting me here to share my journey. Because if my journey, my story can impact even one single life, this is really, really worth millions.
Absolutely. And that's exactly why I started this program, was I knew that only one person cannot transform the nation. We need coaches like yourself. And I can very proudly say that Weljii Health and Wellness coaches are probably one of the best in the country today, because here, guys, you can see the specimen right in front of you, Naveen, right here, who's an amazing coach. And these are the quality of coaches that we plan to bring in the near future as well from the past. And you guys are going ahead and transforming so many people's lives. So that is incredible. Thank you so much for coming on board, and thank you for trusting us that we will do the best, and we continue to offer you the best. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Bye-bye.
Bye.